I'm living in Israel 3 years. I made Aliyah, and I started to study at Torah Nefesh last year. It's really an incredible program that offers a fusion of psychology and Chassidut, and it's taught by amazing teachers and given over really in a way that I can speak from my own experience and also from friends that are in the program also that I know. The Chassidus really is brought down in a way that it's very practical, and I know for myself I've used it in my own relationships in my life, and it's really transformative, and it gives like very transformative ways of thinking about things and experiencing things, and seeing the world, and learning how to train your thoughts to go through different patterns and to hear your thoughts and see yourself going down certain cycles and paths of faulty thinking, and not always being connected to the truth, and to the path that is given in Torah of how to properly have a relationship with Hashem, which plays out in our relationships with all the people in our lives.
World that belong to the Gashmi. And it seems like that we forgot the Ruchaniyut in the last years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it's a major struggle in the world today, and I mean, one of the reasons I made Aliyah to Israel is that this is a place of more ruchniyut. It's a place of more spirituality. Godliness is more revealed here. It's much easier to have a relationship with Judaism and Torah and observance here than other places. But nevertheless, it is a struggle of the modern world that people are much more preoccupied with work and with, more superficial things. So I mean, for me, for sure, Chassidut is a way to reconnect, and Torah can be like hard to understand and hard to relate to if you're not guided by the right teachers and the right sources. So I think Chassidut, really, I think the movement of Chassidut started by the Baal Shem Tov was instituted to really bring a more like down to earth way of understanding the deepest parts of Torah. So I think that's the whole mission of Chassidut, and I can speak for myself. I'm a Baal Tshuva, so I came to Torah observance later in life, and really found it as a choice, like that I was looking for meaning, I was looking for spirituality. So Chassidut really was the vehicle that brought me into Torah, because it was given over in such a way that it was clear to me that that's holiness is supposed to be brought into the world through Facebook, through, everything physical. So really, Chassidut shows like the marriage and the relationship of these things and how they can be integrated. That it shouldn't be that when you go to Shul on Yom Kippur, that's when you're Jewish, and when you live your life and go to work, then you're just a regular person. But really, that every day, every moment is an opportunity to connect to God, and it's a teaching from Chassidut that a person should really look at life that way, that when I'm using Facebook, when I'm exercising in the gym, when I'm eating, a chip, anything, like that's a moment where there's an appropriate way to bring godliness into that. And that's what Hashem wants. Hashem really wants that. Chodesh Elul, it's a very emotional time. It's a time, I know it's coming up in a lot of conversations with people that, you start to really look at your life more and question, and you feel the cycle of life that, wow, it's been a whole year since last Rosh Hashanah, and what have I really done? Where am I now? How am I different? And the idea of Hashem, the King, is in the field. It's a time where God is much closer to us and more accessible. So I think there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to really confront things in our lives and things in our relationship with others and with Hashem. And I think it's a powerful time. It's an intense time. But I think it really is a beautiful experience to be in this month, because there's just so much that it offers if we take the opportunity.
It's interesting you ask about singles, because I also do shidduchim, and I work with singles, and I do workshops for single people. hoping to bring a little bit of light and understanding that everything is a process. I think part of what we're used to today is immediate gratification. Everything's immediate. Click of a button. You go on the internet, you have what you need. People don't go to libraries and do research so much anymore.
It's like an open market.
Nachon. So it's really just I want and I should get. And this is part of the strong nature of the physical world. And when we become in tune with spirituality, which time does not exist in spirituality, we start to accept that things can be a process, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to wait for things. But what's this waiting period is not just you sitting there twirling your thumbs waiting. The waiting period is the growth that I talked about before. We need to change and be in a place where it can open the channels for our soulmate to enter our lives. So it's all a process. So if you're not doing what you need to be doing during this time of growth and development, then you're not allowing the space for the other person to enter your life. And it's not so clear. We don't know where we need to be and what we need to do. But the effort and the kavanah needs to be there. I don't think anything is ever lost. I think things can be forgotten. And I think this program really reminds us what we already know deep down because we feel it through our soul connection. It's not always something that you can intellectually just rationally understand, but you feel that it's the truth because our neshama knows everything. Before we're born, we know the whole Torah. And when we feel inspired in this world, it's really not something new we're learning. It's just our neshama recognizing something that it already knows. So from being here and learning here, it's like awakening certain parts of my deep, deep psyche that is already familiar with these things. And I hope that more people who are looking to grow and looking to understand that we really, what we think we know and what we attribute to our own accomplishments is all, it's an illusion.
My name is Moshe Genut. I am the director of Torah Nefesh in English. Torah Nefesh is a school of Jewish psychology based authentically only on Torah. And we're here at an open house on the subject of relationships. The open house is titled today, Where Has All the Love Gone? And we're basically dealing with the questions of what happens to our relationships as they develop and continue and they get more and more complex. The love is gone because we forget where we come from. And the most important thing about Jewish psychology is that in the end, every single Jew is connected above to a place that doesn't change. It's a place that's always constant. That's where our soul root is. And in all our relationships, be it relationships with our spouse, with our children, with God, in all these relationships, the way to rekindle the love is to reconnect back up to our source. And that's what we try to help people learn how to do. How do you do that? Well, first of all, for a Jew, that type of connection has to come through Torah. It has to come through some kind of learning. It also comes through certain actions that we do as Jews. But more than that, it has to come from a feeling that, first of all, I have that connection. If you're not entirely certain that you have it, it means that you've lost it. You've lost the connection. And what we try to do through the learning and through the type of introspection that we do is to rekindle the faith that we can actually better our lives by reconnecting back to that source.
Today it's a world that belongs to the reality. It seems like it's very hard to do that.
That's exactly the whole point. It's like an Archimedean point. If you give me a point outside the world, I can lift the entire world. The idea is, and that's the hardest thing to come to terms with, is that whatever we pass through in life, whatever happens to us, whatever reality has given us, whatever our circumstances have done, they're really inconsequential to that point that stands outside. And if you're able to connect at that point to that point that's outside the world, outside of your reality, and is beyond your circumstances, then you can change even something that looks dark and bleak into something that's light and full of love.